have crippling depression. What is up, guys? This is Mega Man Sheepman here. Welcome back to another video. And that, Gag not only broke off a wheel on my chair, but I didn't have a wheelchair, so it didn't work. So that counts as a failure. But what I don't count as a failure is the video that I'm going to be making. Hopefully, we never know. But I'm going to be doing a book haul. I know I haven't done a book haul in a long while, so this is going to be kind of a combination between, books that I purchased and books that I got from the library. It's mostly books that I purchased with my own money, but there's a few library books in here, like about 4 or 5, I don't know. But anyway, I'm not going to waste any more time because we literally have 2 piles stacked with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 7 to 8 books in each stack, so around 16 to 17 books to get through, so this is going to be a while. Let's get into this. Alright, the first book, this is the one book I'm not sure I talked about yet, but if I do, oh well, here it is again, and that's Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. I'm really sure I didn't talk about this in my past haul, because the last haul I did, like, A Fine Balance and all those books, so, I don't know, I swear I didn't get this book, so, during then, so... Wolf Hall, this is about, like, Henry VIII and, Thomas Cromwell, I think is his name, yeah, and, like, the whole, like, Anne Boleyn, I'm terrible with history, but, this book is set around the time of Henry VIII and how he's trying to, get a male heir to the throne, so you know the story, it's about him chopping the heads off all of the wives. Sounds fun! Alright, the next book is a library book, and it is Possible Side Effects by Augustine Burroughs, which is with this creepy portrait of Augustine Burroughs on the back. Oh my goodness, it will stare right into your soul. But I've been getting into Augustine Burroughs lately. He's funny. I'm more of a fan of his true stories than Running with Scissors. Like, Running with Scissors was good, but I really liked Magical Thinking a lot more. So, Possible Side Effects is a lot more similar to Magical Thinking as it is like just not short stories, not like fiction, but short stories, like true stories is how he phrases it. But it sounds really good. I'm excited to read it. So yeah, Possible Side Effects by Augustine Burroughs, one of my new favorite humorists. And then the next book, this one I did purchase, and it is a Starter for 10 by David Nichols. David Nichols is more famous for One Day, but One Day didn't sound interesting to me. But Starter for 10 did. I heard about this book a long time ago through one of my used-to-be favorite booktubers, Barry, over at Bass Piers, but honestly, his channel's just gone extremely downhill, and he rarely uploads anymore, so I wouldn't recommend it. But, Starter for 10 is the story about these, like, college... Pretty much picture, like, The Secret History, but minus the murder and plus a quiz show. So it's like about college and like this like British university, and there's like a TV show, so they go on it, and it sounds fun. It's pretty short for a book like this, so yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be one of my sooner reads, so yeah, Starter for 10. Alright, the next book that I have is The Diving Pool by Yoko Ogawa. The last Yoko Ogawa book I have that's translated into English, because she has 20 books in Japan. Get on it, guys. But anyway, I like Yoko Ogawa. She's good, but she isn't amazing. The last book that I read from her was just alright, which was Hotel Iris, which has terrible ratings, which I didn't think it was awful, but I didn't think it was that good either. But I really like The Housekeeper and the Professor and Revenge, and I've heard this is like those 2 books, but it's like but it's a novella collection, and I can't wait to get through these novellas because they sound interesting. So yeah, I like Yoko Ogawa, I like Japanese literature, so I bet I'm gonna like that. Alright, the next book, I think this is another one that I hauled before, but you know what, if I show it again, whatever. And it's The Girl Who Played with Fire by Stieg Larsson. I really love The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, so I decided to continue on with the series, which is rare. Like, you think for the longest time, like, oh, Graham hates series, he's never gonna find a series that he likes. Boom! The Millennium series! What up? So, anyway, The Girl Who Played with Fire, this is just a continuation of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and especially with that cliffhanger with, Solander, with, Lisbeth and, Michael, that was just, woo! That was intense, so I can't wait to see where the story goes. So, The Girl Who Played with Fire by Stieg Larsson. It's a really good series so far, and I hope this book leads up to the great success that was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Oh, I get these names confused. Alright, the next book that I have is Vampires in the Lemon Grove by Karen Russell. This is another library book, if you can't tell by the... Oh, just like the plastic wrapping of all library books. But, I read Swamplandia, which is her main novel, and I cannot express how much I love that book. It is so wacky and so bizarre and so great that it actually made me want to put back on my TBR Geek Love by Catherine Dunn, which is a book that I read, like, I got a third of the way through a long time ago and really didn't like, but because of Swamplandia, I'm giving it a third and final try, so... But Karen Russell's fantastic. This is one of her 2 collections of short stories. She only has 3 books, 2 short story collections, and 1 novel. And this is just the first short story collection. No, this is the second short story collection. The first short story collection is like the one about the House of Wolves, children raised by wolves. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know what else to say. It sounds great. And then the final book in this stack, and the last library book that I have, is To the Bright Edge of the World by you and Ivy. This is a chunky book, especially since The Snow Child, which is the other book that you and Ivy wrote, was really short. Like, less than 300 pages. This exceeds over 400 pages. But this one is, like, you and Ivy's take on historical fiction, which you know what, I'm gonna set that down real quick. Thank you! Thank you for doing something different. Even though it is still set in Alaska, like The Snow Child was, she's doing different genres, which, that's great! Thank you! Thank you so much, you and Ivy. Thank you. But The Snow Child was a very good book. I liked it. I didn't love it because I thought a lot of it was predictable, but, you know, the story itself was good, even though it wasn't original, and the characters were really fantastic, guys. Like, I highly recommend this Snow Child. In fact, I'm thinking of giving it bumping it up to a 4 out of 5. That's how much I liked it. So, I hope The Bright Edge of the World... I hope To the Bright Edge of the World is the same way, and I hope that I can get into this because I'm really getting into historical fiction so far. So, yeah. Okay, now we're going on to the pile of the books that I bought with my own money, even though there were some books that I bought with my own money, and they're like Wolf Hall, Starter for 10, The Girl Who Played with Fire. Those are books that I own, but a lot of those are also library books. So, what is next? Looking for Alaska by John Green. The only John Green book that I will admit that I liked. Well, this is the only John Green book that I like. I don't know what it was about this book, but his debut book, which is this, was good. I liked it. The rest of his bibliography is utter trash. I haven't read it all yet, but I read 2 of his books, other than this one. An Abundance of Catherines and Will Grayson. Hated them both. I don't think I'm even going to try Paper Towns and The Fault in Our Stars, because I've heard those are just so bad. But Looking for Alaska, I'm glad at least I read this book because it was decent. It wasn't amazing, but, you know, it stuck with me, so I think I can consider it a good book. So, this is, like, about some guy who goes to, like, this, like, weird school, and he meets this girl named Alaska, and things happen. And there's some really cool characters in here. I like the writing style in here much more than, like, An Abundance of Catherines and Will Grayson. Ugh, one of the worst written book, one of the most poorly written books I've ever read is Will Grayson. But, you know, Looking for Alaska is good. I'm not going to be ashamed for liking Looking for Alaska. It's one of the few YA books I actually liked. So, yeah, Looking for Alaska. And let me just tell you guys something. Subscribe to Kate File. Subscribe to Kate File. Her recent video blew me away. I already commented on, I made like a long rant of how amazing her video was to her, and she was like, "Oh, thank you," but I don't want to put her words into my mouth, but just watch her recent video on how her tastes have changed. It is the best video on the relationship between YA and adult fiction I have ever seen. It is one of the greatest videos, if not my personal favorite video on BookTube. Sorry, Peter. But just subscribe to K-File. She's absolutely fantastic. I'll leave her channel down below. It's amazing. She's amazing. I cannot stress that video enough. It is so fantastic. The next book that I read is a book that I already read, much like Looking for Alaska, but I just wanted to buy, and that is The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. This book is good. It's really good. It's my least favorite Eugenides book, like, middle sex and the marriage plot. I hope that, yeah, this is my heart. Oh, it's so good. Middlesex is my favorite LGBTQ book of all time. So good. And then the marriage plot, while it's not an LGBTQ book, is a very, very well structured book. I personally loved it. I know loads of people don't like it, but I really liked it. I think Conrad over at 7 Days of Sea really liked it. Conrad, if you're watching this, tell me. So I don't want to put, like I said, I don't want to put your words in my mouth. So, but the Virgin Suicides, it was good. I liked it. I got through it in like a, I think I read this in one sitting actually. It was really good, but it just didn't blow me away. And this is one of the few movie time covers that I actually don't mind. So yeah, because there's not like, there is like the now major motion picture, but you know it's a pretty cover. It's fine. If I find a better copy, I'll replace it. But you know, for now, it's good. So the Virgin Suicides, I actually recommend it as the first Eugenides novel that you read because of how accessible it is compared to Middlesex and the Marriage Plot. I mean, those books aren't extremely long, but they're at least over 400 pages each. So, and this one's only like 250. So, yeah. The Virgin Suicides. I highly recommend it. The next book is a book I have not read, so I don't have much to say, but it's The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. That's a fun name to say. Skloot. But this is a book about the woman who, when she died, her cells were donated to cancer research, and she was a medical revolution, or something like that. That's what it says here, right? They launched a medical revolution in a multi-million-dollar industry. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. It's going to be about her death and the research that they did with her cells. So I'm excited. This seems pretty cool. So yeah, and I've heard a lot about Henrietta Lacks in like science classes, and like yeah, I don't have much to say, guys. I'm sorry. This is probably the worst haul video you've ever seen, but at the same time, it's not because it's me. So, but. The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, it sounds pretty good. The next book is a pure cover buy. Pure cover buy. I've heard of this book before, but it was all based on the cover. It's Euphoria by Lily King. This is another like literary fiction book. I think there's like a love triangle somewhere, but look at that cover! Look at that cover! That is one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. And you think, oh, you at least spent like $6 or $7 on this, Graham. $4. $4. Not even $4, because I had a discount at the library bookstore that I am at. So it's really, I got this for like $3.60. $3.60 for this beautiful, like new copy. Like, the library bookstore is the cheapest place I could possibly get books, and they were amazing to me. Like, they had The Hours by Michael Cunningham, but I wasn't sure if I was going to like that book, so I left it there. But it was such a fantastic. It was so fantastic. I also got Henrietta Lacks there in The Virgin Suicides, and another book, Starter for 10. I also got that there yesterday. So, really happy about that. I love the idea of Euphoria, but like I said, I didn't read it until I bought it because of the cover. Oh, the cover is so beautiful. The next book is a book I've already read. In fact, I think the rest of the books are books that I've already read. Yeah. So the rest of the books I've already read, I've already mentioned my thoughts on the majority of them, including this one, which is The Sound of Waves by Yukio Mishima. Not going to be much on it. I love it. I love it so much. Mishima's now one of my favorite authors, so yeah, love it. The next book is A Room by Emma Donoghue, which is not in the best condition. It has, as you can probably see, the massive crease on the cover, but the spine is good. So, I made an entire video about this, The Time Traveler's Wife, and Speak. So if you want to check that out, I may want to do one of those again. Those are fun. That's like my highest rated review video, alongside my Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian review. So. Yeah, The Room by Emma Donoghue. It's not The Room. We're not talking about Tommy Wiseau here, but Room by Emma Donoghue. It's good. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just good. It's nothing great, mainly because of the second half, but you know, it's good. It's good. The next book that I have is Dorothy Allison's Bastard Out of Carolina. Bad word, but anyway, Bastard Out of Carolina. It's about this girl named Bone in her life with a pseudo-abusive dad, I think. Yeah, I remember correctly. Bone had really bad times with her dad, so... and it's pretty much a family story. I'm a sucker for family stories, and this was really great. It took a while to get into, but once you get into it, once you get comfortable with Allison's writing, it's a fantastic book, and I cannot recommend it enough, especially if you're a fan of family stories like me. So, yeah, Dorothy Allison's the bastard out of Carolina. Pretty good. Next book, already about another book that I talk a lot about, mainly because I read it for Gobbleathon, and that, which is the wrap-up video, should be either tomorrow or Tuesday, don't worry. And that is a Kangaroo Notebook by Kobo Abe. My first Kobo Abe book, liked it. Nothing else there, except that it is weird. Weird. And the last book for the video is this hardcover, first edition, first printing, I think so. Is it? Well, let me check. It's Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Safran Foer. And I'm gonna check right now if it's a first edition. I know that for sure, but is it a first printing? No, it isn't. It's like a fourth printing, but it is a first edition. So I'll take it. But it's a fantastic book. I loved it. Not as much as Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close and Here I Am, which is his newest book, but you know, it's probably, surprisingly, this is my least favorite. Actually, thinking about it, this is my least favorite Jonathan Safran Foer novel. I like this better than Eating Animals, which is his nonfiction book, but you know, this is pretty good. All of Jonathan Safran Foer is good. It's just matters of how good it is. So you could either have a masterpiece like Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, a fantastic novel like Here I Am, or a great novel like Everything is Illuminated. Such a choice, I know. It's very great. So that was the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little haul video of mine. Oh, not really. I had like 17 books here. But anyway, comment down below on what you guys thought of the video. And as always, I'm Mega Man Chief Fan, and I'll see you later, guys.